all the coaches we've had, all the, different regimes. And I was thinking about this. When's the last time Isiah Thomas has actually given a stamp of approval for a coach? Because he did it during the summer league when he interviewed with JB Bickerstaff. Like, when's the last time the greatest point guard, second greatest point guard, in my opinion, of all time, is stamped a Detroit Pistons coach? Maybe Larry Brown. Like, all the coaches we've had, and Isaiah's been around, like, he's stamping JB Bickerstaff like it's Detroit versus everybody. You get
pretty
it.
Big. That actually gets me fired up. Actually, when you just put it that way, because I know what I feel. Like, I've had a lot of different coaches, been to camps, been coached by some of these people, like Lindsey Hunter. He was one of my camp coaches when I was younger. And he had Basketball Planet and such. So it's like, you get that feel, you get those vibes when you're around those guys who love basketball. And I get that right away. And, I got the opportunity to talk to Isiah Thomas. Shout out to Rob Beard, who actually introduced me to him at LCA. And it was pretty cool interaction. And you instantly, you feel it instantly. I know you've talked to him. That man loves basketball. And Isiah Thomas knows basketball. It's not just one of those guys who's a good player, and then they start talking, and you're like, okay, he's a funny personality, but he don't really know. No, Isiah Thomas knows the game of basketball, man. So when he gives a step of approval for a guy like JB Bickerstaff, who, for, better or worse, I guess for our good, but temporarily for not so good to his family and such, they got bashed in Cleveland. His coaching style, all of the issues got placed on it at his feet, as if it was like, no, it couldn't be the roster. Well, look at them, And so, to have that type of a stamp from a legend like that, like Isiah Thomas, I think that's huge, man. Like, I wouldn't underrate that at all or underestimate that, because of what he was just coming from, where he was getting bashed out in Cleveland and in the greater NBA world because they supposedly underperformed.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly was thinking, I was like, I have not really seen Isiah Thomas actually stamp a Detroit Pistons coach probably since Larry Brown. And that was in 2004. We're in 2025. Like, he's been very vocal about the direction in the Pistons in which they were going. I remember someone asked him a question about, what are your thoughts about the Pistons winning 25 games this year? And he was disgusted. He's just like, man, the standard was the playoffs. When I was playing, the standard was
Corey Woodward.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Corey. My bad.
Shout out.
Yeah, I'm live. Like,
I remember that.
Honestly, like, the fact that he was just so impressed with JB as a coach, I'm sure probably made his day, because to your point, I think he kind of got, like, Lions fan know this name like a lot, but I'm not comparing the two. Like, JB kind of got the Jim Caldwell experience in Cleveland, where, he brings a culture, they start winning, but it's not good enough. Who knows what Kenny Atkinson will do?
Yeah, that's a great analogy, bro.
Who knows? Who really knows? But I mean, like, I feel like he kind of got an unfair shake, and I mean, like, from players like Donovan Mitchell that were kind of behind the scenes, like snakes in the grass type of thing, like smiling to his face, thing. But, like, you go into the front office and say, we got to get this guy out of here. Ty Jerome, who you mentioned earlier, was bashing JB on social media a couple of years ago. Like, all these players here absolutely love him, and I think it's just the willingness of wanting to get better and never experiencing a 14-win season again. But I was just thinking about that today. I was like, when's the last time, like, Isiah has actually praised a coach?
That's huge, man. That's what I know you're going to get on a Pistons Talk podcast are the details in between the details. Man, you always find and pull out just those extra plugs, man. And I think that's huge, because I always thought it was BS that JB Bickerstaff got bashed the way he did and got blamed for everything. When you got a player over there in Donovan Mitchell, I was telling people beforehand, like, I don't believe in what they are. That, yes, they're going to have all of the regular season hype, because JB Bickerstaff makes his players run through brick walls. But you got to have a team that has a certain pedigree, man. Like, certain players have it. Can Jalen Brunson play that way underneath Thibodeau? Yes. Can the rest of that Knicks team? No. They're not built that way. But you got a young squad here in Detroit that can play that way under JB Bickerstaff in ways that I don't believe Cleveland's players were equipped to. Is there a player that might be able to get better out of Cleveland? Maybe. They didn't find it in year one after JB Bickerstaff.
Mhm.
So, and now, not only that, but you got JB Bickerstaff up the freeway, bro, just ready to kick your tail. Like really ready to kick, like literally wants to wipe you out of the Central. Doesn't care your hype, doesn't care your number one seed, doesn't care if you have a star. He said, "Hey, my star is better than yours now, bro. One season." Like that to me, it makes a difference. And I like the fact that he carries that edge too. You know, when you talk about Larry Brown, he was able to come here and be able to help these guys understand the edge to carry. Because, it's not like Larry Brown had an edge himself, but he was able to help harness that for those players. But JB Bickerstaff is coming here like, hey, y'all sucked last year and the year before historically. And y'all look at me, they tell me I'm trash too. What we going to do about this? And so now you already got a coach who's already proven to be really good. You got a coach who's going to be able to bring the defensive teaching, because that is very vital. Defenses, if you don't have it instinctually, some of the things you have to be taught it. He brought these types of things to it. And then, you, like I said, you put that chip, that grit on top of it, man. And this team, you've said it several times, and I don't want that to go unnoticed. This team is they've bought in. They want to be better. They never want to taste 14 and 17 wins again. And now they got a taste of playoffs. Now they got a taste of All-Star Weekend. Now they got a taste of they got a star on their team. I said, like, for better or worse, like, Malik Beasley, I hope everything works out for you. But for better or worse, I mean, you got K's teammates getting shimmy meal deals, bro. Like that's hey, you know what? But that's what happens. And I want to see this team continue on in that, and I think they will underneath JB Bickerstaff's leadership.